When you're looking at something really good looking or you're standing beside it, you never really want to say it too close, you know, in case it gets a big head or anything like that. And looking at the Peugeot 208, I kind of feel that way. I don't want to say too many nice things about it. For a long time, Peugeot were making cars that weren't that exciting to look at. You didn't kind of look at them and go, oh, what's that? What's that? Is that the new 208? And now they are. So you can understand when the car is this good looking, why I don't want to give it an even bigger head. And the best thing about the 208 is, aside from the looks, aside from the fact that it gets ABS as standard across all models and USB ports in the back, which leaves a lot of city cars to shame, the best thing about the 208 is you can buy it from communion money over 18 grand. And it's a lot of car for that price. A lot of people have asked me this week when they see this car, is that an electric one? And it's not. It's a 1.2 100 brake horsepower petrol Allure model, but there is an EV 208, the E208, which starts from 27 grand. So it's 9 grand dearer than the cheapest petrol one. And those maths are for you to decide. And then you can go to a GT spec of the E208 for 32,000 euro. So no, this isn't an electric one, but yes, there is one. No matter where you look at this car, whether it's the front, side on, or even around here at the back, it's just a gorgeous looking car. If you go for the Allure model, which is always the sweet spot with Peugeots, seriously, like there will be people commenting going, he doesn't say Peugeot the way we say it in mainland. Yeah, okay, all right. You get black tinted windows, back and sides of the car, and they're lovely for keeping kids cool. And this kind of sweeping black part is now featured in a lot of the newer version of the cars. And these taillights have got LEDs that sweep across, and at night time they look great. And the boot, this is a car that kind of has surprised me a few times when I've been driving it this week. You can take out a very, very small parcel shelf. There's nowhere really to stick that, so you'll just have to leave that at home or shove it in on top of the kids. But the boot's all right, you know, like you get a spare wheel, you can fold down the seats and it's decent size. You've got little hooks for shopping and stuff. I managed to fit a buggy into this, like one of those bigger buggies sideways. Now I had to take out the parcel shelf, and that's, you know, hands up, but I was able to fit a lot into it. And this little boot liner is pretty cool as well if you've got dogs or pets or whatever and you want to keep that relatively clean. Yeah, it's not the biggest boot in the world, but it's quite usable. There's an elastic bandy stringy thing here that I even managed to secure a little small laptop in with. You'll even manage to get 2 child seats right in there. Now there are some things that still annoy me. I mean, it'd be weird if there weren't. Things can be a bit plasticky in the back, and these fantastic Isofix access areas, they still drive me a bit mad. I mean, I haven't had to take a vice grips to them like I did in the 508. And they're relatively easy to open up and down, and I suppose they do save you losing those little plastic cup things for Isofix hooks, but still, tell you what doesn't annoy me, the fact that they put 2 USB charging points in the back of this car. And so many cars at this price point, they just forget about back passengers. Even with this driver's seat relatively far back, it's still okay, like you're not totally squished, you've got decent headroom. I mean, it is a 2-passenger bench, really. I mean, you would get a 3rd child in there, but 3 adults, that's going to be tight. I wish I had more friends to display, but sadly I don't. I spend my time at weekends talking to strangers on YouTube, so. It does have old-style child locks, which means if you get locked in, it's going to be awkward to get out. Another positive point for the 208 is the fact that all models, no matter what you go for, come with Bluetooth and DAB and Android and Apple CarPlay. They're all a standard, no matter how little you want to spend on your new car. The thing that gets me is the fact that the dashboard, which Peugeot call the iCockpit, which you will get in the 208, it'll tell me that the jaw locks are on, but it's still a manual thing in the door that you change. Anyway, it's only a small thing. You get the lovely square Is it really it's not quite a square. You get the wheel that you get on all their models now. It's in the 208. That cruise control stock still drives me nuts. You're kind of feeling your way around it like, let's not go there. But when you're trying to drive in a motorway and you're trying to find the cruise and you're trying to find the button that makes it pause or resume, it would be better if you could just see it a bit better. USB-C, normal USB, 2 options. The faster cable is on that side because they're predominantly made for left-hand drive markets. Not really a big deal. You're going to stretch the cable from here instead of there. It's not a big deal. This model is an 8-speed automatic. I'll tell you what it's like when we're driving, but good storage, bottles and smaller bottles here. Do you know what? It's actually an okay under the armrest. Like, it's not massive, but it's okay. That's a mask, by the way, because it looks like something. Anyway, then you get these lovely little buttons that are, I suppose, Mini inspired originally, but again, they're popping up in all the new models of the car, and the glove box is okay. These little green strips, they don't light up at night time or anything. They're a little bit tacky, I think. They kind of let the interior down a small bit. And it's all very black, but it kind of works, you know that? And the dashboard is really cool. Now, it can be hard to get a correct angle where you're not, like, you bring the steering wheel down, and it's touching off your knees, right? But then you can fully see your display. And then you push it up, maybe if you've got, I don't know, extra large knees, and you can't really see the display. Now, we've been here before, like there is a way around it, you can make a compromise, but yeah, that's the only thing about these lovely steering wheels and the iCockpit. They sometimes don't work in total harmony. So while those buttons serve a purpose, you can operate a lot of the same things from behind the screen, but at least they give you both options so you're not totally stuck. Whatever you do, if you can, get this engine as well. It is a 100 brake horsepower petrol engine. There's diesel, there's EV options. I love the way Peugeot have given everyone an option in so many models of their cars. They're not alienating one type of fuel just at the moment anyway. So there are smaller brake horsepower engine versions, but I think the car will, not that it will struggle, but if you're doing, I suppose, motorway driving that doesn't justify a diesel engine, then this is the one you're going to want, because there's plenty of torque. Overtaking power is fine. In fact, more than fine. The automatic gearbox has got an 8-speed gearbox, so it's nice and calm. It's not particularly noisy under load. The type of things that you get when you go lower down the output range, and you're going to end up with something that just maybe struggles at certain times, which is no fun for anybody. The indicator bleeps are a bit loud. Apart from that, though, I'm pretty happy with it. There's a nice actual grunt off this engine. I'm going to have the E208 in a couple of weeks, and I am really looking forward to driving that, because I think that's going to be a bit of a little rocket. You can't help think of the old GTIs when you get into these cars, and like, this car handles quite well. It's got a sporty feel to it. It would be weird for someone into cars not to kind of think of the GTIs of the late 80s and 90s. I don't think they're going to bother. They've got the GT line if you want it, that's about it. So you're getting lane departure, which works very well, sometimes a bit too well, if I'm honest with you. You don't get blind spot at this price point, or rear traffic monitoring. You do get reverse and front sensors, but there's no screen, so you're just relying on the beeps. Which is funny how, like, that, even that feels kind of retro enough at this stage. Seats are very comfortable. This sporty steering wheel will always help you feel like you're driving something a bit more special than you are. And handles well, you know, like you can, now it's a bit hard. This is on bigger alloys, but yeah, it handles pretty good into corners and bends. And electric GTI versions, now maybe that's where the future is. Everywhere I drive in this car, you notice people looking at it, you know, and maybe that's the colour that just captures the attention as well. But I don't know, there's something about what Peugeot are doing at the moment, who's designing their cars, that they've just jumped ahead. It's definitely a fun car, more fun than it should be. And I've just been impressed. The interior, there isn't a rattle from it. You know, you can see where they save money as you look around and you touch some of the materials, not all of the materials though. Certainly the important things that you're going to be in regular contact with, they feel good. Like, it even has a bit of a cheeky little grunt out of it. You're sort of going, hey, where are you getting that from? It's like a little Yorkshire Terrier that has this big bark and doesn't know what to do with it. 8-speed gearbox is really smooth. It kind of knows very instinctively when you're trying to press on and when you're just calmly in stop-start heavy traffic. The thirst is reasonably strong. I mean, it's 8 litres per 100 kilometers. I've covered certainly about 400 kilometers in this car, so I've given it a good drive, and it is about 8 litres per 100 kilometers. Not unusual for a petrol engine with 100 brake horsepower, you know. And the small turbo engines, like you drive in the Qashqai and stuff, they're all kind of around that. If you're looking for 5s and 6s, you're just not going to get that. So hopefully you've learned some of what you need to know about the new 208 from watching this review. If you've got a question, do pop one down below. Maybe like the video. Hopefully I've earned a subscription from you now anyway, and you've subscribed to the channel. That would be great. And pass this video on if you've got someone who might be interested in one of these cars and they're not sure, they've got a couple of questions. What are the engines like? What's the interior like? Is it good quality? Point them my way or share the video on with them. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.